When working with redstone in Minecraft, once in a while you'll build something in a scenario where it works perfectly, and then you'll try it in another scenario and it does not work at all. This is one example of one of those situations where we built a minecart loader and unloader and it works great in single player worlds, it works great on realms, but then I went on to truly Bedrock, a dedicated server, and this contraption completely broke down. So we've gone back to the drawing board and we have for you a brand new design for a minecart loader and unloader system. As you can see, we've got a fully redesigned minecart loader and unloader system in the background here. It's not doing much of anything right now because there's nothing to load or unload, but we will demonstrate that at the end of the tutorial. I do want to note that the other design that we have made does actually still work. It's not broken, but it does not always work in every circumstance. So it's good to have options, and I think that this design is the most reliable, so you'll probably want to end up going with this one anyway. The item list for this build is not too crazy, coming in at 9 redstone rails, 2 detector rails, 1 regular rail, and a minecart with a chest. Then we've got 4 regular chests, 3 hoppers, a sticky piston, 9 redstone dust, 1 redstone torch, 1 redstone block, 2 repeaters, 4 comparators, and a handful of building blocks. To start off this build, let's place down 1 redstone block here and 3 pieces of concrete on either side. Doesn't have to be concrete, but just any building block will do fine. Then we'll take powered rails and run them all the way across just like that. This is a placeholder. Your main rail line may not be a straight line like this. It may curve, it may go up and down. It just depends on where you're going to load and unload your items. But for our purposes, we've got a short little track here just to demonstrate. Because it is the easier of the two to build, we're gonna start off with the unloader. To get that going, we'll place down a block here, and then underneath here, we will place a chest right here and right here. On top of the right side of this double chest, we will place 1 hopper facing downward into it, and then we need a temporary block followed by another block, and then we can go ahead and break that one so we can get into our chest here in a little bit. Next up, we need 1 detector rail followed by a regular rail, and then 1 powered rail on top of that hopper, and then we'll place a temporary rail right here so that this one will elevate. Then we can go ahead and break that, and then place down 1 more block on top just like so. What this is going to do is allow the minecart to roll up and stop right here, and then once this rail is powered again, it will roll back on its way. The difference between this design and my earlier video is that this is going to use a mechanic called an OR gate. Essentially, our minecart unloader and also the loader here in a bit are going to read 2 different signals. And when one of those signals is triggered, it will allow the minecart to release and continue on, or to stop and start unloading items. We'll demonstrate as we build. Next, out of the side of this rail, we're gonna go ahead and place a block right here, and then break this temporary block like so. Then out of the side of this block, we will place down a redstone torch, which will activate this rail by default. The first part of our OR gate comes from this detector rail right here. So out of the side, we're gonna place a little L shape of blocks just like so, followed by 2 redstone dust and a repeater set to 1 tick. When a minecart comes rolling down this track right here, it will eventually hit this detector rail. When it does, it will power this redstone line, which will power the repeater, powering this block, and shutting off this redstone torch. Essentially, what this is going to do is to tell this powered rail to shut off as soon as a minecart hits this detector rail. So by the time it goes up the incline, the minecart is trapped in place. However, this is only a temporary situation because these are similar to buttons in that once this goes over, then the detector rail will power back off and repower the rail, sending the minecart on its way. That's not what we want. We want it to stay put until all items are unloaded from the minecart. In order to make that happen, we need 2 blocks coming out of the side of this chest right here and here, followed by a temporary block right here with a solid block on top, and then we can go ahead and break that one right there. It is very important that this block and this block are solid blocks, but the rest of them, they can be really whatever you can place redstone down on. Then out of the side of this hopper, we'll grab and place a comparator, followed by another repeater set to 4 ticks, and then a redstone dust right here, And then this unloader is all complete and ready to go. We've already mentioned that when a minecart rolls across this detector rail, this will power off. So in order to keep this off, when items start flowing into this hopper, it will send a signal to this comparator, which will power that redstone repeater, which will power the block, powering the redstone dust, powering this block, and keeping this torch off for however long items are flowing through this hopper. For such a small redstone circuit, this may seem like a lot of information, but don't worry, we will show this off, we'll demonstrate how it works with an actual minecart and some items to unload. That way you can see the magic happen. To get started with our loader, we need to place another solid block right here with a powered rail right on top of that, a temporary block with a solid block on top of that, then we can go ahead and break that temporary block, and then another temporary block next to that, followed by another block right there. We're gonna do the same thing we did with this one and kind of stair step this up before we put another block on top of that. On this block right here, we need a detector rail, and then any other rail of your choice. Break that one and then place down a solid block just like so. Then out of the back of this block, we need another temporary block right here, followed by another solid block, and then we can go ahead and break that one. And then on the back of this block right here, we need a redstone torch, and then a few temporary blocks to eventually get a block right here. We can go ahead and break those, add a piece of redstone dust, and then we need to stair step this down. Once we are down, we need to do a slight L shape, so we will go like this and this, followed by redstone dust, 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 and then we'll stair step it back up. Another quick thing to note, I know I've mentioned it already, but anywhere that there's glass, it does not matter if it is solid or not. But on places that we have solid blocks, it is vitally important so that redstone signals will power these blocks. This is one of those circumstances. Right here, we're gonna place one solid block here with redstone dust leading here and here. Then we're gonna need a torch into the side of the block right here. And then all that's left to do is grab our sticky piston and place it out of the side of that torch, and then a solid block in front of that sticky piston. This is the basic circuitry, but this will not actually do anything just yet. Go ahead and grab a hopper and place a temporary one right on top of this rail like so, and then another hopper on top of that. Absolutely need to break this one so that the minecart can roll on up here and then start receiving items. Once you got that hopper in place, then you can go ahead and place a double chest right here. In order to make this redstone signal work and to do something, we need a couple of different things. In order to get that activated, we need to place a comparator right here on top of this block, reading this hopper. Basically what this is going to do is that anytime there is an item in this hopper, it's going to send a signal through the comparator, turn off this torch, and then turn off this redstone signal, which will power that torch and extend this block. So if we're trying to load items into a minecart, this will extend, stopping the minecart right here. And then if this hopper becomes completely empty, it will release the signal, releasing that piston and allowing the minecart to roll on back over to the unloader. Where the problem lies is if you have a minecart that completely fills up and there are some items still in this hopper, it's going to get stuck. It's never gonna move. In order to fix that problem, we're gonna need to play a little bit of a retro game called Tetris. Basically what I mean by that is place a block here, here, and there. That is the classic Tetris piece right there. It's just a little T, and then right next to it we'll place another temporary block here, and place a permanent solid block right there, and then we'll break this one, and then we're ready to wire it up. Out of the side of this detector rail, we're gonna go ahead and place down a comparator in subtract mode with another comparator feeding into the side of it, with a hopper facing up, just like so. And then as mentioned earlier in the item list, you do need a bunch of building blocks. Go ahead and throw those in with this right here. We need 3.5 stacks of any block of your choice to put into this hopper. What this is going to do with 3.5 stacks of items is to allow the minecart to fill up to a mostly full status. Once it is mostly full, it will release this piston, allowing the minecart to roll onto the unloader and then come back to pick up more items. So either there are items in this hopper that allow the minecart to be stopped, or there are enough items in the minecart to send it on its way because we don't want it getting stuck here. Let's just say we've gone on the most successful mining trip ever, and we've got an inventory, well, almost an inventory, full of diamonds. We'll go ahead and place our minecart on the rail system, and as you can see, it doesn't do a whole lot. It doesn't stop yet at the loader, and it stops just briefly while this detector rail is being activated at the unloader, but then it sends it back on its way because there's nothing really going into the system. We're gonna go ahead and place items in this chest, and once they start funneling into the hopper, this piston is going to extend and stop the minecart on its trip back to start loading it up. Let's take a look. There we go. So we've got items flowing through. Our piston is blocking the minecart and it will not allow it to go. And then once this is emptied, we will see that the minecart will be released and allowed to go to our unloader. And there it goes. And as you can see, it has successfully stopped. We have diamonds flowing into the chest below, and once this is emptied, this signal will release and allow our minecart to go back to the loader system. Just a few diamonds left, and we are on our way once again. We're just gonna load this thing to capacity as much as we possibly can and see what happens to make sure that this minecart does not get stuck. As you can see, it's got a pretty full inventory in here, and anytime it should be releasing this to allow the minecart to roll and unload the items at the storage unit. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and eat my words there. I could have sworn when we did our testing earlier that it did not fill the minecart up all the way, but it does. So we've got a full minecart full of items, and it's been sent on its way to the unloader. I wanted to show you guys a real-world example of how this could be used. And so we are here on Truly Bedrock in Prowl and my temporary base. It's a little mining colony, and it's honestly pretty cool. Over here, we've got our branch mine, and when we come out of our branch mine, I've got the simple loader system that you just saw. We can load our items up in here, and let's just go ahead and demonstrate. We've got our comparator coming on, and we've actually got a manual switch to stop this minecart even when the system isn't running, just so that it's not running all the time. But as you can see, it's already gone ahead and released, and so our minecart is on its way into our storage room, which you can see right here. The minecart has stopped, and it actually already finished unloading before we could get back to the room. So we can come in here and we can grab our diamonds, we can grab our emeralds, we can grab our lapis, we can grab our gold, anything that we can get that's valuable. Our minecart unloader system will grab it and go back to the loader to get some more. So guys, that's gonna do it for today's tutorial. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you are gonna build this in your own Minecraft worlds. I would love to see examples of this over on my Discord, so be sure to drop some pictures and show me how you've incorporated your minecart loader and unloader into your worlds. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, a comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. But thank you so much for watching, and have a fantastic day.